The Church of St Bartholomew the Great in London's Smithfield is the capital's oldest parish church. Worshippers have been coming here for 9 centuries, almost as long as the Norman Cathedral at Canterbury has been standing. They come to share in the extraordinary faith which the West inherited via Rome and would make its own. A faith that God himself had become fully human in his Son Jesus, a Jewish carpenter. Executed by crucifixion, Jesus overcame death and opened new hope of heaven to sinful men and women everywhere. This is St Bartholomew's Lady Chapel, and although it looks a little less ancient than other parts of the building, it too has a long history. At one point it was a printer's workshop, where a young Benjamin Franklin learned his trade. 500 years before that, it was revered because on this spot, a monk called Hubert had a miraculous vision of Mary, the mother of Jesus. Here, she told him, she would receive prayers and vows and grant mercy and blessing forever. Pilgrims of every station have made their way here ever since. Christianity was and remains a faith for everybody. It broke down hierarchies and raised up the low. Its apostles were fishermen and outcasts. They preached that all of us were sinners and all of us could receive God's grace. This faith in moral equality spread across the West, with countless far more modest churches alongside the great cathedrals. Not every shrine could boast a visit from God's mother, nor could the faithful always agree. But they shared a revolutionary moral universe, one that changed the West forever. Christianity eventually won its battle with the Roman Empire. The Colosseum, where Christians were murdered for entertainment, is now a site of pilgrimage. But at the dawn of the West, the fall of Rome's empire brought in its wake barbarian tribes. These had a heroic and individualistic ethic of their own, but they were often rough, cruel, and uncultured. They presented a whole new challenge to the Church. What made the West we know was a fusion of the barbarian warrior spirit with the learning and peaceful moral vision carried by the only institution to have survived Rome's collapse, the Church. In time, that created a new intellectual and artistic culture of unparalleled richness. It was a culture that celebrated beauty as a vision of God's perfection, and it produced buildings like this. And not just buildings, but some of the greatest art and music the world has ever known.
One of the least quoted lines in the Gospels is Jesus saying, I say these things to you because I want you to have the joy, I want the joy that's in me to be in you. And you know, you look at a lot of Christians and you think, I'm not seeing the joy there. I think that the joy is actually the northern star of spirituality. I think that that's what you're moving towards. You're moving toward joy. And that joy is a sense that life is just so incredibly worth it, that with all its terror, with all its misery, with all its grief, with all its atrocity, there is something about life that is just inherently good. And that's only beauty produces that feeling in you. The Pietà is almost the embodiment of the concept of beauty. And what is so beautiful about it is that it is so terribly tragic. It is actually a picture of despair, and yet through the beauty that is expressed in the despair and through the love that powers both the death that you're watching and the grief that you're watching, it actually says to you, in the midst of the greatest possible tragedy, which I think for anybody is the loss of a child, in the midst of the greatest possible tragedy, there is something about being a human being that is not just meaningful, but joyful and superb. How you do that with a piece of rock, I have no idea, but something flows through a man that is better than himself when he makes a statue like that. You know, the famous vandal who attacked the statue when it was not behind glass, attacked it with a hammer, shouting, "I must destroy what other men cherish," which I think is basically a summation of the people who are trying to destroy the West now, because the Pietà, with its grief, with its beauty, with its love, both maternal and universal, is the central cry of the heart of the West. And I think that it dignifies everything about being a human being without one happy moment in it. And it's just a remarkable, remarkable piece of work.
Hello. If you're enjoying the New Culture Forum channel and you believe in our mission, may I invite you to join our membership scheme at the link below or on our website, newcultureforum.org.uk. Our work is more important now than ever, and we have great plans ahead for the future, but we can't do it without your support. From as little as £3 per month, you can help ensure that we continue on our mission. As a member, you'll receive a range of benefits, including access to exclusive content, invitations to our private events, including here at our studios, free copies of our books, and much, much more, including, of course, our famous NCF mug. If you aren't able to become a member, then please help us by clicking this button and subscribing to our channel. It's completely free. Just remember to also click the bell icon so that you can get notifications when we post new videos. Thank you.